Hello everyone, and it is I, Umber Rays, who is here tonight to talk to you about the fact that we had a Nico live stream and a YouTube live stream, of course, both at the same time. But anyway, I'm super tired tonight, so I'm going to probably make at least a few mistakes in this video, but hey, that's part of the fun of watching them. So first of all, let's talk a little bit about this. So first of all, this was a very odd live stream because normally our live streams are live, but this month happened to just be a pre-recorded live stream, which is very odd for the brave Exvius because we normally, and I'm going to just adjust my camera really quickly here and do that. Normally what happens is that our live streams are live, we get a raid challenge, and they last about an hour and a half to 2 hours. And tonight it was pre-recorded and it went by pretty quickly as it was only an hour long. Now, what was said tonight was essentially we're getting our story update, and the update will take place on the 30th. We will be getting, of course, our next little bit of story, Chapter 5, Part 1 of Season 2. And, of course, whenever we get a new story update, there is also the other really big thing, which is not that. Wait for it. I have to find the right one. A new summon. And this time we are getting Anima, which is super exciting because Anima's a pretty cool summon. And we're not just getting a 1-star version of him. We are getting him or her. I didn't think it polite to ask. We are getting a 2-star version of Anima. And let me tell you right now, Anima will be a dark summon. We'll just refer to it as an it, will seem to be doing a lot of AoE darkness damage when summoned, has auto limit, has a balanced type Esper, in other words, all stats are equal, or kind of like Bahamut is, 50% dark, 25% water, and opposed stats, obviously. So probably for fighting it, holy weapons will probably do a bunch of damage, but expect there to be some kind of trick with the fight. Now, next of all is nextly, I should say, we are getting a brand new trial, which is, of course, there we go, just scroll down a bit. We are getting the enhanced version of the IO trial. Or at least I think it's called the IO trial. It's the robot with the smaller robot. When you kill the smaller robot, you die. Or I guess it's the parade of the possessed. Anyway, this time you will be getting an enhanced version of the armor. I think it has some attack. It'll definitely have higher defense, which will be good for trying to meet that defense stat parameter mission. But other than that, pretty standard. That's not the big thing. The big thing this month was what was going to be the banner. Well, what could possibly be the banner for this month? We're getting Anima. Anima looks exactly like a Final Fantasy X. I predicted Final Fantasy X, didn't I? Well, that would make sense that it would be potentially Final Fantasy X, right? Well, that might have echoed the music. Apologies if that did happen. It is not Final Fantasy X. As a matter of fact, we are getting, there we are, Final Fantasy III. We are getting a Final Fantasy III King Mog banner, and I have to admit, of all the Mog banners that we've had over the last little while, this is definitely the most disappointing banner I think I've ever seen in potential Final Fantasy Brave Exvius history. First of all, let's talk about 3-star base bonus unit, who is Ueno Wayne. Anyway, this character, normally I would say that 3 stars are very unexciting, but this one is just kind of like, you may ask yourself, who is this unit? And Yeah, that's a good one. Some kind of magic attacker has a staff with 6 attack, 75 magic, and 92 spirit for TMR. Not a bad one for people, new account owners who want CG Citra equipment, but for anyone else, this is pretty forgettable. Next up is Doga, and honestly, when this happened in the live stream, I really was like, wait, who the hell is Doga? I don't even remember Doga. Seems that Brave XP is just, or Alum isn't super interested in giving us characters that are really, hey, you know that we don't really have a Sid yet? Hey, you know that we don't really have a Orin or all the Final Fantasy VIII characters? No, let's start really getting some obscure as hell units. This is it. Doga is also a magic attacker with a TM rod that is 8 attack, 103 magic, and 20% fire resistance, so probably a fire damage dealer. And, okay. But of all the painful news tonight, this is where it started getting actually hurting a little bit. And it started with the announcement of Dark Knight Luneth, a character who really did not need yet another 5-star, but here we are, and he is... This could be just really bad. We'll see about this guy, but Dark Knight Luneth can be built either as dual hand or true dual hand, physical attacker, finisher. All of his attacks are 1 hits. That's really not impressing me much. Has the W ability so he can multicast his abilities. That's really great because, as it turns out, just like a Dark Knight, he has the ability to lower his HP for high damage. So double damaging himself, I'm sure, will work very well, especially with high damage trials coming into the future. Okay, his TMR is the ability dual hand plus demon killer, not true dual hand, just regular dual hand. Yeah, anyway. Super TMR Katana with attack 168, the dark element, and gains an ability. We don't know anything about the ability. 168 attack really isn't even higher than Sephiroth's regular TMR, which is a katana that has an ability and no element. Sephiroth could just give himself elements, which was kind of nicer. So, yeah, anyway, moving on. His limit burst, self up to 100%, demon and Aquan killer. Okay, Dark Knights, I guess, are really good at fighting squids. And a single target max 1100%, 50% damage defense ignoring. Now, this is not a super, if that's the max percentage that you can do on his limit burst damage, that's not super impressive considering what Freya's or some other limit bursts can do. Even the killer is a big deal, but Demon and Aquan only really is kind of a weird little field. Demons could be very useful. Aquans, I'm not entirely sure. So, and in general, I just do not like the Dark Knight category or class. It is just never, it's always looked cool, but it just usually doesn't work. And, well, Dark Knight Cecil, we all remember how well that went over. But quite possibly the most hated piece of news, I promise you, the news is going to get better in a second, is this character. Say hello to Onion Knight Refia. Now, I have a lot of problems with this character. First of all, her description is similar to Onion Knight. Okay, debuffs elements and imbues self. Okay, Onion Slice, timing on abilities. Okay, dual wield. The description is essentially the Luneth or regular Onion Knight. Oh god, why? This is a reskin of the worst kind to me. Well, okay. TMR, before we go too far off. TMR, ability, 50% attack when equipped with a sword, 50% high tide. Pretty good. Decent TMR. Super TMR, a sword with 160 attack, chance to apply poison, blind, confuse, or silence. Cannot explain how useless this is in anything other than arena, because bosses are pretty much always immune to these. So this is pretty useless. But it does give an equipment bonus of attack, defense, magic, and spirit, plus 30%. Okay, back to it. God, I hate this. I really hate this announcement of this character. Because let me tell you... Oh, I guess we were... No, I mean... No, I guess I was still showing Luneth. But anyway. Knight Refia... First of all, Refia was always a healer. So... Or at least a healer before in this game's identity. And yes, FF3, any of their characters can be anything. But... Why Refia? And... Nextly, it's kind of was hard to tell that it was Refia at first, just looking at the sprite for a minute. Now I can see it, but honestly, it feels like a reskinned version of Onion Knight, both from the description and the look. And the other thing is that why not a sage? Why not something interesting like a powerful magic damage dealer? You know, something that's more in line with what Refia is currently in our game. Why is it just essentially sounds like a carbon copy of Onion Knight this late when Onion Knight is not super in the damage meta, given CG Hayu is Holy Explosion Frame? Why in the holy hell, why? Oh my god, this is just baffling to me. Oh. Needless to say, I'm not super excited, and they did not mention whether there will be a step up, but if there isn't a step up, given the current units and once we see their kits, this may just be the worst Mog King we've had in many, many months. You thought the Type O banner was bad? Yeah, this might just be the worst. We'll wait until we see the data to call this, but oh my god, I have very, very, very little faith that this banner will be any kind of good. I would not be spending Lapis on this banner at all. But thankfully, and we're just going to change screens really quickly back to over to here, because that's the end of the slideshow essentially, as in we were sliding down the page. Ha 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 ha. And the news isn't really up in game. So, well, this is. So let's talk about the good news. Because honestly, okay, story update is good news. Anima is good news. The trial, we'll see what the rewards look like, really. We'll see. And we'll see how difficult the challenge is. It's worth it. The FF3 banner is definitely the worst piece of news because now begins the spring campaign. Not the Golden Week campaign, the spring campaign. And let me tell you, April may be an absolutely terrible month for banners, but it is going to be a great month for getting free stuff. First of all, for the entire month from April 1st up to April 30th, and no, there is no April Fools involved in any of this. Starting for an entire month, you will be getting a free summon per day. And let me tell you, that's an entire month. You have a chance of hitting a rainbow at least some point. So hope for the best kind of thing, right? But hey, why stop there? From April 1st to April 30th, we will be getting a half energy everywhere. 10 weapon trials, vortexes, story, trials, everything. I think I said trials twice, but trials is important. So half energy everywhere for an entire month. It might be okay if you don't get any bonus units this time. Next up, login bonuses with lots of lapis. For an entire month, just logging in will get you some extra lapis, so that's super awesome. Trust Moogle summons with friend points. Why not? For the first 10 days, and also for those first 10 days in April, you will get any friend points per day. You will get an event item present campaign. Not entirely sure what that is, but they showed, I believe, summon tickets and trust moogles, so it could be actually freaking awesome. And for the beginning of April, we will be getting 2 possible ways to spend your lapis. First of all, 5,000 lapis for a guaranteed 5-star summon. Now, who is on this banner? I'm not entirely sure. It might be everyone. It may just be, you know, specific characters. But hey, if you want a 5-star, 5,000 lapis for a 5-star, not terribly bad. But remember, Golden Week is coming at the end of the month, so spend your lapis wisely. However, the 3,000 lapis bundle or special box is kind of incredible because it comes with 6 summon tickets and a guaranteed 5-star EX ticket. Not only that, but it comes with a whole bunch of equipment that is probably really good for any brand new player, and some cactars and some gill snappers. So you got lots of stuff for 3,000 lapis. I gotta say, the 3,000 lapis sounds super great. The 5,000 lapis, I'm undecided on. 5-star is always nice, but it depends. If it is a limited different unit or certain units on the banner, might not be super worth it. We'll see. Then, starting on the 11th of April to the 20th, you will be getting daily special dungeons that will be given some extra free stuff, and free stuff is always great. Next up, all vortexes will be open from the 21st to the 30th, but the greatest of all the news is that, well, no, we went by the greatest of all news already, is the EXP bonus fusion rate will happen every weekend in April. So save those cactars now, because you are going to be doing a lot of fusing with them every weekend in April, and that's super exciting because fusion up rates are just awesome. Super great for leveling a ton of units really quickly. Now, other than that, in the last few quick notes, Mixer, they are still talking about the TMR Mixer. They are working on it. It says that will be discussed next month. Don't get your hopes up. Basically a system to reward players for keeping fully maxed out TMR units. So we'll see what happens there. Don't get your exciting to it. Now, while the stream is pre-recorded, there was no raid challenge, but we will all be getting 10 summon tickets in the near future. So 10 extra summon tickets, great for the Mog King for the next month. Now, the other piece of news is that old CG units will be getting voices added to their animations, starting with CG Fina this month. Afterward, we'll have to see how quickly the rest get added, but it's a good start getting some voices. Tonight we had CG Fina on stream, so that's super cool. Now, there was an elephant in the room, and this is the one. Okay, yeah. The video is going on forever. But anyway, the last piece of news was about the rankings for last week's Super Arena. Now, here's the thing. There seems to be a lot. First of all, Alum took big notice in this because it seems that there were a lot of people cheating, or at least a good number of people cheating. So, what's going to happen to these people who are probably bots, if we are going to be totally honest? Because some of the scores were just way too high to be humans, or at least as many humans as it seems to be. It seems like there may be a good old-fashioned ban hammering coming up here, in which case ranks may get adjusted, they may not. We may get a redistribution of rewards depending on what happens. We're going to have to wait and see, essentially. But it is nice that Alum is going to try and fix this, to the best of their ability. And as for that, your ranking may change, it may not change. It depends on how many illegal accounts they find, but, maybe you'll go 500 ranks up. You never know. That could bump you into a much nicer bracket with better rewards. And we could all just get compensation in general for all of the trouble. So, we will wait and see. But Other than the Final Fantasy III Mog King, which I think is an incredibly lazy banner and very unexciting, very unappealing, I think that April is shaping up to be an absolutely fantastic month with a ton of free stuff, a ton of great bundles, and we haven't even gotten started yet because you know what? At the end of all of this good free stuff, we are going to get Golden Week, which will be better, most likely, than all of the stuff we're seeing right now. So that's all for this time. Remember, so maintenance will happen on the 30th for 5 hours, so plan accordingly. Everything that I've talked about, we will take a look at the data after that and see what has happened. If it is any good or any bad, any kind of bad, I will make a video about it, no worries. So that's all for this video. I think I talked about everything. I am really going to go get some rest because I'm super tired. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you in the next video.